a year since this February.
Around 23 years now. I had 2 fights lined up in Muay Thai. I started doing it after I started karate, and unfortunately those fights didn't happen. But I got 3rd in the karate champs twice, and I'm Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Australasian champion at the moment as well.
Approximately 30 years now. It was right at the beginning of it all. I actually brought it to South Island. I went up to Auckland and I fought there on a day's notice. And fought the New Zealand champion 5 rounds. I never won, but I went to 5 rounds and I thought I liked doing this. I fought later on for the South Island title heavyweight. I won that by knockout. And I defended it later on in the same year. Against, I won successfully by knockout. So incidentally, I was 34 by I was thrown from a horse, so it ruptured the cartilage in the top of the bone there. I couldn't throw a jab for a couple of years. Jabs were the most important strokes and gotchas. Brought an end to my competition career at that point, certainly in Thai boxing. But I didn't stop training.
I've practiced on and off since I was 16. I'm not sure exactly of the total time together because it's been broken up over many years. But I think it's about maybe 4 years.
What are your motivations for practicing and continuing to practice Muay Thai?
To get fit and lose weight and be part of a sport that I love.
It's mostly for fitness. I like to exercise. I also do weight training, mountain biking, snowboarding. But Muay Thai gives me an all-round sort of body conditioning.
Yeah, after so many years, I'm driven by the fitness side and just the enjoyment of the journey to discover more techniques. I love martial arts.
So what makes Muay Thai unique from other forms of combat?
In Muay Thai, you strike with your shin bone. Strike with this portion here, rather than, say, the ankle joint, which you would do in other martial arts. The idea with Muay Thai is that you sort of push right through your opponent, rather than just making contact and then releasing off.
It makes you feel tough, like you can defend yourself.
It's close range and it's almost freestyle martial arts, so it gives me an ability to deal with any situation.
It's just very fast, efficient and powerful because the goal is to knock the guy down. It's been developed over thousands of years. It traces back to sort of border areas of what was the old Siam. The villages there were continually being raided by the Burmese, who are rather sort of warlike people. And so they developed this form of fighting as a means of protecting themselves. From there, of course, it just became their national sport. It's what they do, they live for it.
What do you think is the essence or purpose of Muay Thai?
Be able to fight, but not need to fight.
Push yourself beyond your limits to see how far you can take yourself physically and mentally.
It gives me an ability to quite simply incapacitate my opponent by way of knees, elbows, kicks and other basic strikes.
Self-discipline and an overall body strength and health and mental as well. People think it's just about punching and kicking. To stay with it on a long term, you've got to have more than that because you can certainly learn how to fight very, very quickly, how to punch people, how to drop people. You start to get a feel for the whole health, body, well-being feeling. It gives you, strengthens you up. It gives you a good cardiovascular, good explosiveness. You certainly feel good. It also keeps you sharp mentally. Hand-eye coordination and continual drilling, just trying to make it a little bit better each time, improves your balance. Just overall, it's just great.
So how would you define success in Muay Thai?
Success is continuous training, attending the gym regularly and continually learning.
Achieving your own goals that you set for yourself, because it may vary depending on the person. Some people like to take it to a competition level and win, belts, trophies, etc. Some people just want a good fitness level. Others want to be able to master the techniques.
For me, success is just the continual training of it and always looking just to make it a little bit better each time. The first level of learning is the unconscious incompetence stage. And here you don't know what you don't know. Then when you first come upon something, you become consciously incompetent of it. So you try to do it, but you realise that you actually can't do it very well. You're not very good at all. Then you become consciously competent. See, after a lot of learning and drilling and getting things together, you start to be aware that you're starting to get good at doing it. The ultimate level that you're trying to reach is the unconscious competent level. This is where you're doing it, but you don't have to think about it. That's what you're trying to achieve, I feel, with anything that you're trying to learn and do. You don't have to think about it. You just do it. That's ultimately what I do it still for.
Do you think there should be a requirement or criteria for someone to be labelled as a Thai kickboxer?
Yeah, they should know how to fight and have been in fights before.
For a start off, technically they should be able to execute the manoeuvres of Muay Thai. They should have an understanding of where Muay Thai came from, how it came to be. They should have an understanding of the different principles and concepts behind Muay Thai. They should have an understanding of the mental mindset of a Muay Thai fighter, to be called a Muay Thai fighter. Otherwise you're just a slugger, you're just a punch and kick. There is people out there who call themselves Muay Thai fighters, but observational really is people who learn to throw some kicks and punches from karate with some boxing punches. So that's not Muay Thai. Muay Thai is quite distinct.
You want to make sure that they are training an authentic Muay Thai, so they need to most probably study of someone that's visited possibly Thailand or trained from someone that's been trained in Thailand.
What are the most important qualities of a Thai boxing champion?
Most important qualities will be someone absolutely dedicated to it. Those guys living the fighting life, and they train with the best to get there.
He needs to have humility for a start, because he needs to have a mind that can remove itself from ego-influencing factors such as thinking about himself all the time or his opponent. He needs to remove himself from that, so therefore he can just clear his mind and get on with the job and do what he does. So he has to have a clear mind. He has to be able to develop a focused mindset just to be able to execute what he needs to do and stay on his game. If you think too much about executing what you're going to do with it, or whether you're going to do something right or what your opponent's going to do, by the time that you execute anything or do anything, it's all over. Clear and focused mind, and essentially what the Japanese call mushin, or no mind. They can just do, they don't think. The discipline to train hard, whatever cost. To listen so that you can learn properly, to observe so that technically it can be put together, to be able to put it together from a point of view of seeing and doing and feeling the whole technique. You've got to be able to, it's not just a matter of seeing it or listening to it, it's a matter of feeling the technique and understanding the technique of what you're doing. And then of course, you've got to be strong physically and condition-wise. You've got to be able to undertake a lot of hard conditioning so that you're driving yourself all the time to develop your cardiovascular fitness to a high level. You've got to be able to condition yourself so that strength-wise you're extremely strong, extremely resilient, take damage, give damage, have a good feel for your balance. You've got to understand posture so that you've got straight moving posture, focus we've dealt with, sample one theory. Explosiveness, you've got to develop explosiveness through training, speed quite clear, repetition, there's no other excuse for that. Ability to judge distance, to be able to use angles, move on the balls of the feet, have a feel for rhythm and be able to keep the flow and the rhythm together as you're manoeuvring. Develop the ability to defend and counter, be able to transfer and change from the counter to the offensive game, from defence to offense, defence to offense. Knowing when to do it, what to do. You've got to be able to continually move in the right direction, be able to pick the right angles and move. So there's a lot of things.
Patience, balance, flexibility, and a good mindset.
A true champion needs to have a very strong mindset. They need to be strong of mind and sort of heart and really want to do what they're doing. They need to be able to set targets as well and work towards those targets and achieve them.
Do you think some of it can be attributed to talent?
What we call natural talent, that simply comes from the fact of being totally obsessed and immersed with learning something so that it occupies almost all of their waking hours and even their sleeping hours in many cases. Again, with natural talent too, it can be found to be attributed to things in their early childhood or as they're growing up, which have similarities to what they're doing or will feed into what they're doing. There's a lot of people called Mozart, for instance, a child prodigy. What a lot of people don't understand is that actually was the father playing the piano and helping him move the keys at the same time when he was a very young child. We're talking into it like he's 3 he was doing it. 2 and 3 years old, he was doing this on his father's knee. So it wasn't that he had a natural talent for him inbuilt when he grew. It was just fed to him continually from an extremely early age. Anyone can develop that same ability if they're willing to put in the amount of time and effort and focus that these people have.
Do you think having some knowledge of the history and past of Muay Thai is valuable to a Thai kickboxer?
Absolutely. It's always good to understand where something came from, how it came to be and what it was.
I mentioned that it would garner more respect, knowing the history of Muay Thai and why it was developed and what its purpose was originally for and how it's transitioned to what it is now. And I think it would be beneficial, but it's not essential as such.
Yeah, I always like to learn about the essence behind something because it's such a big part of a sport. Like you can't just do something and then not know everything about it.
It's good to know some fundamentals to respect the Thai people for what they've given us, and we show that by way of just respecting each other here in the academy, bowing and following certain protocols within the gym.
So is there a code of honour for a practitioner of Muay Thai?
Essentially, yeah. Codes of honours change, of course, with different generations, different ages, different cultures. They respect each other as fighters. They're both in there to fight. They won't do anything illegal or something which will intentionally harm their opponent from the point of view of trying to maim them and put them out of action. That's not the goal at all. The goal is to have a good fight with a worthy opponent. You find that in a lot of warrior classes and codes, is that a good fighter won't fight anybody unless he considers them a worthy opponent. All great warriors generally had that. They had to be a worthy opponent. And part of the reason why I was particularly a samurai was that to die at the hands of an unworthy opponent would be considered dishonourable. But to die at the hands of a worthy opponent, that's considered honourable.
Can you tell me what kind of impact has Muay Thai made on your life?
It's got me a lot fitter and more social, and I feel stronger.
Well, it's been the base for all of my martial arts training. I've now moved to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it was a good base to have for that. It is always good to have a little bit of structure around your social life, and this is something I do on a social basis.
Have you had any interesting scars or injuries in the past?
Yeah, there's one girl called Gigi kicked me and a toe landed in my eye, and I had a tiny bruise. That's my only war story.
I've been injured more with my mountain biking and snowboarding than Muay Thai. I've only ended up with black eyes and a few bruises here and there, but no breaks or anything like that, no scars.
I've had shoulder surgery on both shoulders, knee surgery, hand surgery, arm busted once. Well, I suppose my knuckles are all smashed, but they've never stopped me doing anything. I've been all smashed so that I can hit anything I can. My nose has been busted about 12 times, but you wouldn't know.
Yeah, I had to have my elbow operated on. It was keyhole surgery. You probably can't see much, just on the left elbow there. That was from landing on the floor and hyperextending my elbow, and the bone chipped off.
Has Muay Thai helped you out in any real life situation?
Many years ago when I was much younger, just walking through town late at night with a friend, we were attacked by a group of a guys actually. They sort of came out of nowhere. And there was 2 of us and I think possibly about 6 to 8 of them. And just by being able to display that we could punch and sort of kick, it made the guys back off. They weren't so eager to sort of attack us because they could see that we actually had some sort of training in martial arts.
It's probably taught me a little bit about staying calmer in a sort of if you're in a stressful situation.
Yes, well I did door work for 1 year, and I had one occasion where a guy actually managed to come up behind me and hit me from behind. Because I've done Muay Thai training and I'm used to a bit of contact, I took that blow and I turned around and started to get hold of him and deal with the situation. I was commended by the police at the end of it. They congratulated me on how well I handled it.
A couple of fellas who really thought they were being smart. I was in the car. They drove me up onto the footpath. And I went after them because I was pretty pissed. And then they stopped around the road a bit, pulled up, and one of them gets out the driver's side So I dropped him, what is my favourite combination. I put a left right into the head, threw a leg kick into his leg, and then pop a big right hand over the top and drop him in the middle of the road, and then give him one down there too. Because I was pretty mad. And his mate was coming around the side of the car. I went round to him and I put him into the car, and smashed him with an elbow and slammed him into the side of the car. So he ran away. Then I went back there, the guy was getting up, so I put another round kick into him as well. It was 2-on-1 and they ran me off the road. And they're as big as me.
When I say Muay Thai, what 2 words come to your mind?
Kickboxing.
Freestyle martial arts.
Muay Thai, great fun.
Fighter and power. It's awesome, awesome power. Fight.
Thank you so much. So just to stabilise push-ups.
Would be this one here, where I'm just starting up here, and I can do it slowly or fast with the hands, but I move from here, I come on left, right, wait, 1. So what I'm doing there is I'm setting up with the jab that gets me in, you see, so I come on here, 1, 2, here. I follow that with a round kick to the leg, I wait, just a pause, because what happens then is usually if I fight it, it hits the leg and the guys will drop into it here like this and they pull this down. And as they come back up again, that's what I'm waiting for, quite often they leave that down. And that's what the right hand's for, you see. So I come in here, left, right, leg kick back, big right hand over the top, and then I'll follow it in with a right elbow straight to the head.